Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of the Political Machine 2024. My name is Jerome, and we're going to get started into some gaming today. I'm going to focus today on an AI versus AI and kind of a what if scenario, so to speak. I like the new game. I played one round of it before recording this video. Really enjoyed it, and we're going to see what Political Machine 2024 has in store. I know I'm a little late. I should have probably did this last year during the whole election cycle, but it's never too early, I guess, or too late, so to speak, to really focus on what could have happened. So I'm going to choose Republican specifically because that is the party that won, not necessarily my party of choosing, but um, that is the party that won. So that is who we're going to choose. Donald Trump won the election, so we're going to choose him. And again, in our what if scenario here, we want to look at what if Joe Biden never dropped out of the race. We want to look at what if Joe Biden stayed in the race, continued in the race, and eventually if he would have won that race. So we're going to take a look here and see what happens. All right, we're going to start. Looks like polling is in favor of Biden to start. And again, I started on normal mode. There was no way for me to do the AI versus AI without choosing a political party. So I chose the winner, so to speak, not the incumbent, but the winner. So we're going to see if that probably won't have anything to do with it, considering I put it on normal mode. At least I hope it doesn't. It seems like it's going to be a pretty balanced venture. We're starting out Biden maybe ahead by 1%, and then Trump shortly below that. And we're going to fast forward the speed a little bit till I get to that debate announcement. Really interested to see the way this is going to shape up. Georgia becoming a mostly blue state lately might play a key role. Michigan being a real life swing state might play a role. Wrapping up here, getting ready to be at that debate announcement. This is where they decide where it will be located. So it will be located in Pennsylvania, which is really convenient because Pennsylvania just so happens to be our first battleground state for this game. They are really into environmental protection, or at least the Democrats are. Republicans not so much. They mostly oppose it, and we see a lot of fracking really in favor with Republicans, which makes sense considering Pennsylvania's economic climate. Ooh, that was a mouthful. So we're going to see if that has anything to do with their polling. So whether or not this debate will really transform because of polling done here in Pennsylvania. It's going to take a minute. These cards I think are pretty new. I don't remember these. These might be similar to like the fixers and the little things you would spread across the map. I'm like 75% sure that's what those are. Um, we see Michigan is the first state to turn solid red, solid anything, but the first state to turn solid red. And that kind of makes sense recently for real life Michigan and how they're going, at least on federal elections, leaning more towards the Republicans, leaning more conservative now more than ever. I'm really interested to see how that national debate is going to be affected. Second swing state, we got North Carolina as our second swing state here. We see significant polling in one favor toward, or enthusiasm rather, in one favor towards Joe Biden, but we see really neck and neck polling here. Um, and what's interesting, at least for me, is they have classroom transparency as their top related issue in North Carolina. Really interesting decision there. I'm not sure if those are random or if those are based on real life. We have our second state to turn solid. No blue solid states yet, but our second state to turn solid is the state of Florida. We're going to see if that debate really had anything to do. Take a look at the polling here in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania remains a swing state, leaning towards the Republicans. Some decent voter enthusiasm for Joe Biden in Pennsylvania. Next up on our list here is the running mate selection. So seeing who exactly is going to be the running mate for both of them. We are seeing a huge shift here. This was a solid red state, but with the addition of the vice presidents, we're seeing Michigan turn into a battleground state. We see Tim Walz being the choice for Donald Trump, or I'm sorry, for Joe Biden. Kind of a unique choice. And then we see Mike Pence for Donald Trump. I don't think that'll ever happen again in a million years. But really interesting choices there. I like how the game went with the 2016 actual for Donald Trump. Really surprised that it didn't choose Kamala Harris as Joe Biden's running mate. Wonder if the game knows. All right, we're starting to see some solid states here, New Jersey and Delaware. I'm not sure, maybe I missed those before. They are the smaller states on the side, so I might have missed those becoming solid. We got 3 battleground states, North Carolina, we've got Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Fast forward a little bit. I want to see where this next debate's going to happen. We got a refresh in the map. West Virginia, no surprise, going solid red. So we can get another refresh in the map. Finally getting some more solid blue states here. California, no surprise. We're starting to see Colorado, not a huge shock. Washington, absolutely no surprise there. I'm still surprised that Michigan is considered a battleground state right now. All right, where is this next one going to be taking place? It's going to take place in North Carolina. Voter enthusiasm is 100% for each of them, so this should be really accurate poll numbers here. At least moderately accurate poll numbers. That debate didn't seem to change much nationwide. Maybe a couple more states being sprinkled in as red or blue. We're seeing the Northeast Corridor all blue. No surprise there. New Hampshire kind of surprised as a solid red. Pennsylvania flipped from a battleground state into a red state. Real interesting there. The one thing I'll point out, even though we are seeing a lot of red here, Joe Biden and not a lot of blue. Joe Biden is at 49% in polling, while Donald Trump is at 42. I wonder how that's going to play out. I wonder if this is going to be a scenario like in 2016 where he won, less than the popular vote, but still won the election through the Electoral College. Last week here, going to slow it down just a touch. Just really take a look at these, kind of these in-between states here. We got Wisconsin, really interesting. Not a lot of voter enthusiasm for either party. They haven't been getting a lot of love. The voter enthusiasm is just tied to how often you were giving the state attention. Not a lot of voter enthusiasm in Nebraska, but I'd be really surprised if Nebraska went blue here. Not a lot in Nevada either, but again, be really surprised if that went blue. We're probably get into the next week, which is going to end up being the presidential election. Here we go. Let's take a look at the leader right now. It's going to be Joe Biden, obviously. The Northeast Corridor, real strong for Democrats. Pretty much all the time, even in video games. North Carolina, swing state going red. West Virginia apparently was a swing state, and that's going red. Really interested. Michigan went red. Went with Donald Trump there for Michigan. Not a super big surprise considering Michigan's actual climate lately. North Dakota, South Dakota, no shock there. Texas, no shock there. And it looks like Donald Trump is going to have over 270, which means in this election, even if Joe Biden would have won, if Joe Biden would have continued to reign, we would have still seen Donald Trump as president of the United States. Let's take a look at that map real quick, kind of zoom out there, really get a solid feel for everything here. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for staying to the end if you're here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment who you want me to do an AI battle against next. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Till next time, I'll see you later.